And now, RSM, the Rams Sports Magazine Show.
Good evening and welcome to RSM, Rams Sports Magazine Show. I'm your host, Anthony Keith. The CSU men's basketball team is practicing right behind me. However, the talk of the town right now is the new head football coach, Jim McElwain. Coming from the University of Alabama, where he served as an offensive coordinator and will continue to serve the rest of the season, including the BCS championship game, the new head honcho had plenty to say at his introduction earlier this week.
As I said at the beginning of my remarks, Coach Mack's arrival does mark the beginning of the bold new era for CSU football. I know Coach McElwain is going to dream big. I know he's going to work hard, and I'm absolutely convinced that he's going to deliver excellence on behalf of Colorado State University. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Colorado State University's new head football coach, Jim McElwain.
And let's make that right there something that we do after every game, huh? Let's go sing that fight song in victory. Great job, band. I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much. You know, I just want to start this by saying what a great honor and privilege it is to be associated with such a great university. A university that we know of throughout the Northwest and throughout the Rocky Mountain region as being one of the finest academic institutions there are out there. You know, through this process, I've had the ability to meet with a lot of different people. But I know this, the importance is what happens at the top. The vision, the commitment, and the direction that we need to go as a program and as a university. Tony, Jack, unbelievable vision, unbelievable commitment, and really don't want to hear no. Let's find a way to go. As I close right here, I just want to say, I hope I get a chance to meet each and every one of you. I want to look you in the eye. I want you to know how passionate I am, how passionate we are to make this a success. And I look forward to doing it together. Guys, thanks so much. Go Rams, and let's go make something big out of it. Thank you.
Introduced as the new head coach of the CSU football team on Monday, Jim McElwain's goal is simple.
You know, my goal is to win them all. And that's the direction we need to go.
Coach Mack has a vision that he shares alongside newly named athletic director Jack Graham and university president Tony Frank.
And we need to hit the ground running. We need to get the word out about what our plans are and what our visions are. You know, one of those plans and one of those visions are taking a culture, taking a mindset, and not being afraid to think big.
In his 4 years as an offensive coordinator at Alabama, the Crimson Tide claimed 2 SEC West championships, 1 SEC championship, and 1 national championship with an overall record of 47-6.
He's got very hands-on turnaround experience, which obviously is important and it's relevant to us.
For his first day on the job, he had one message he wanted to get across to everyone.
Let's make sure that we go forward with the message, we are Colorado State University, and here we come.
Now, there is no need to question Coach Mack's experience and resume with a BCS win under his belt. However, I'm sure one thing you're questioning is his salary. Here's Tom Livingston to discuss that matter.
Yeah, a bold new era here for the Rams in Fort Collins. 9 days after head coach Steve Fairchild was fired, CSU has their new man.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Colorado State University's new head football coach, Jim McElwain.
Jim McElwain has taken the reins as head coach for CSU after being the offensive coordinator for the University of Alabama under head coach Nick Saban.
Let's make sure that we go forward with the message, we are Colorado State University, and here we come. And this bold new era, I am really excited to lead.
Jack Graham was named athletic director at CSU on December 1st and fired Steve Fairchild December 4th. Graham said more than 50 coaches were considered as part of his search, and the list narrowed to 10 before deciding on McElwain.
Equally important to the technical skills and the X's and O capabilities that Coach McElwain is bringing to Colorado State is his character. This was incredibly important to us as we thought through who was going to be our next head football coach. Coach McElwain is a man of great character and of great integrity.
The university and McElwain agreed to a 5-year deal that will pay him $1.35 million a year with a $150,000 bonus based on graduation rates and a clean NCAA record. Steve Fairchild was paid $700,000 a year. The new deal is a bold statement on the commitment CSU is making to take the program to the level they want to see it.
You know, it was simple once I was able to find the passion and the commitment from the top and the direction and the vision in which they want to go.
The university fired athletic director Paul Kowalczyk with 3 years left on his deal and will pay the remainder of his $830,000 contract with private funds. Private funds are also being used to pay the $350,000 remaining on Steve Fairchild's contract. Now, the compensation for McElwain is all school funded, and what that means is that another $600,000 to $700,000 will go into the athletic budget. That from President Tony Frank. He says that that will be brought back, that they will actually get that money back by an anticipated 10% increase in ticket sales.
Now that you've heard from Coach Mack, Athletic Director Jack Graham, coming up next after the break, we talk to a few of the players. Stay tuned.
You're watching RSM, the Rams Sports Magazine Show on Northern Colorado 5.
Welcome back to the show, Rams fans. Now, the CSU football team did end their season with a 3-9 record. However, these players are stoked for the new head coach, Jim McElwain. Here's what they had to say after he was introduced as the new head coach earlier this week.
Big thing, reactions, from the new coach.
Personally, I'm jacked about it. I'm really pumped up. I know all the players. We left the meeting, we were like, wow, first time we've ever talked to him, and we're all as pumped as we are, and that's the first time we ever talked to him. I can't imagine how things, are when we get rolling with him and everything. So we're excited about the season, excited to get things started, and excited for next year, get this thing turned around.
What were some of those things in the meeting that he talked about that really pumped you up?
Just about talking about people that, aren't bought in, how he talked about it at Alabama, when he first got there, people weren't all bought in, and, that's why they weren't having the success that they're having now. And so he talked about, getting everybody bought in and weeding out the people that aren't. If they don't want to be here, then they're free to go, and he doesn't want them here, and he wants everybody 100% committed, and he said he's going to push this harder than we've ever been pushed, and so we're excited to get going.
Man, it's great. I could tell by the first 5 minutes I met him that he was the real deal. He's genuine. He's a man of his word, and everyone's fired up, really fired up.
Now, I met with you guys beforehand, had a meeting, and I was talking to Garrett. He said he really pumped you guys up just within the first 5 minutes of meeting him. What were some of those things he talked about that really got you psyched?
Well, I think that, first of all, new life after coming off 3-9 seasons is obviously a benefit to begin with, but I feel like his style of coaching and his attitude towards things and his ambition is everything we need, man. And he came in and he was raising his voice a little bit. You could tell that he was passionate. You could tell that he was really excited to be here. And you can tell when someone's sincere or kind of beating around the bush, and he's definitely a sincere coach.
We're excited. Obviously he's a big-time offensive guy, and I think we have the threats and the talent on offense to become one of those offense he made like Alabama. So we're all ready to put in the work, get ready for it, and I think he's just ready, and we're all ready, and we're ready to accept him as our head coach. So.
How much relief, a week after Fairchild being let go, they find a guy this fast of this caliber?
Definitely. That's really impressive. Obviously the new coordinator, Mr. Graham, he's definitely on a mission. He's here to make this program a successful program, and we're all here to support him. And obviously, he found a great new head coach for us, and we're all here to support him also.
Please welcome Colorado State University's new head football coach, Jim McElwain.
But enough about football. Coming up next on the show, I jump to the court and talk to a few of the basketball players. Stay tuned.
You're watching RSM, the Ram Sports Magazine Show on Northern Colorado 5.
Welcome back to the show. One of the most surprising standouts to the CSU men's basketball team is JUCO transfer Kaipo Sabas. On the team last year to help out with the practice squad, this season he has been lighting it up. I spoke one-on-one with him earlier this week.
Big looking got to Sabas, open three, fires there, and hits Kaipo Sabas. A walk-on who made his first career start tonight. He knocks down a three.
This week from the men's basketball team, I'm joined by Kaipo Sabas, pretty much the hometown hero here in Fort Collins. Kaipo, one thing, this last game against Duke, you got the start. You know, it's your senior year. What did that mean to you?
It meant a whole lot. You know, I've come a long way, you know, especially last year. I barely even saw the floor. I think I played in probably maybe 4 games. Not a lot of minutes at all. It just meant a lot, you know. It was good because I had a really good off season. I put a lot of hard work into the off season, weight room, everything, and it was just cool to be like rewarded.
I bet 29 minutes against that Blue Devil team. Now, Coach Miles said that you came into his office in the off season, said, you know, Coach, I want to be a different part of this team. Kind of talk about that meeting. I mean, what was your mindset going and talking to him?
It was after our second scrimmage, and I didn't even play. I didn't take my warm up off, and the last thing I want this year to turn into is last year, and I don't want my junior and senior year to be me sitting on the end of the bench. And I really want, like, I know I'm a part of this team, and that's what I went in there and I told him. I said last year, I know I was probably just happy that I made the team as a walk-on and everything, because that was my goal, to make the team first. But my next goal is to get in there and be a part of the team and play and everything. So I told him, like, what do I need to do? What do I need to focus on? You know, he said, be patient, focus on the little things. You know, just make shots.
All paid off. Making shots. You've always been a hot shot. Exactly. You know, LCCC free throw percentage was 90%. I believe it was 78 out of 88. This season, 3-pointers, you're 10 for 16. I mean, you've always had that talent. But when did it start translating in games? It's happened in practice, but this season, when did that really start to take over?
No, I just know I don't have many opportunities left in college career, and he always reminds us every game you only have like 30-some chances to prove yourself, and you know, I always stay in after and shoot. Always this off season we're shooting, and a lot of the managers are really helpful, and they help rebound and everything. So like, I don't leave the gym until I make so many. So that's awesome. You know, I just go out there, just empty mind, and just shoot the ball. Don't think about it too much.
Good work ethic. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Now you guys are 5-4 right now, but you're coming off 2 really tough games. UNI, Duke. You know, a top 10 team. How do you feel about this team looking ahead?
I feel great about us. You know, I think they were both good games just to get us ready. You know, we're not quite a conference season yet, but, you know, Duke pressures and stuff just like UNLV and teams in our conference. So I know we need to get ready for stuff like that. You know, it showed weaknesses, but also showed positives. And I like the team we have. I like what Coach has is doing. So.
The fans like the team you guys have. I got to take a step back to that CU game. I mean, you're a Colorado kid, so you know, what does that rivalry mean? And your senior year coming in, being a part of taking down the Buffs.
Yeah, exactly. Unbelievable. I can't even describe it. You know, that the high that I had after that game was unbelievable. You know, I just couldn't stop smiling, especially the wind and the storm in the court. That was unbelievable. You know, that rivalry means a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Ever since I was a little kid, that's big.
Storm in the court, you know, it's always awesome, especially this early in the season. That's what surprised me. But on my end, just running in from the back, I almost died. How were you guys feeling in the middle of that?
I don't know. I was jumping around, getting pushed every which way, you know, almost fell over. I saw Dorian. As soon as we got in there, Dorian got his feet taken out from under him, so I'm helping him up while people are coming in. So.
That could have been bad on the fans' part, but, you know, again, being that hometown hero, that's what I'm going to call you. I'm going to label you as a hero. I'm sure many other people do. But at these home games, you know, how much support do you have from old coaches, teachers, parents, so on and so forth?
I have a whole lot. I know my high school coach, and my dad was my coach all the way through this, and a lot of my assistants in high school and stuff, and my junior college coaches came to the CU game. They're only 45 minutes away, so I have a lot of support. My friends and family are all here. I got a lot of friends that I went to high school and stuff with. You know, that's the reason why I came here. You know, I love this place.
Heck of a coach right there, former CSU Ram. Kind of tell me, what's the biggest thing you've taken away from your father? What's the best advice he's given you?
Just don't give up. Don't let people tell you that you can't do something. You know. There's a lot of things were pointing in my direction. I'm only 5'10", and you know, I wasn't recruited at a junior college and stuff. You know, he just said at a junior college, you know, we'll support you in whatever you do, and this is what I wanted to do because I know it was a big challenge, big task at hand, and lot of people had doubts, but you know, I knew that I had the support of my family behind me.
Keep fighting. All that hard work
Exactly.
pays off. Now I want to talk about your pride as a Ram right now. I mean, this team, a lot of people were looking at it, okay, this is going to be a rebuilding year. You lost so many key players. I was even thinking that, but I'll be honest, you know, I get a few games in, and this is a team that can compete. So talk about that pride in this team.
We all believe in each other. I know we heard a lot of that stuff off season, and I know Miles was telling us about all that stuff off season, how we lost our 2 main scorers, but you know, we adjusted our game plan and we're playing to our strengths. You know, I believe in every single one of the players in here, in the locker room and stuff, and we believe in each other, and I love this team.
Oh, it's movie stuff right there. That's awesome. Last question, looking ahead near future, you got Texas Southern at home on Monday, UNC right down the road. Talk about those 2 games and even talk about the UNC rivalry.
UNC rivalry is pretty big too. You know, we're coming off 2 losses, so we need to get this victory. And we have trouble putting teams away, so I know we need to just execute our game plan. I know the coaches will have us ready, defending all their stuff, and you know, I know we need to get ready. And
hey, schedule looks a lot nicer looking ahead than looking behind with that Duke and UNI team.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for joining us on this show. Best of luck in these upcoming games.
Thank you.
Stay tuned because there's still plenty more to come on the show. Stay tuned because coming up next, I talk more basketball.
You're watching RSM, the Ram Sports Magazine Show on Northern Colorado 5.
Welcome back to Ram Sports Magazine Show. The CSU men's basketball team is currently 5-4 on the season. However, looking ahead, it seems like the schedule gets a lot easier. I spoke one-on-one with Greg Smith earlier this week. Welcome back to the show, Rams fans. This week from the men's basketball team, I'm joined by Greg Smith, who against Duke put up 18 points, and that's the first thing I want to talk about. What was it like taking on that Blue Devils team?
It was real tough. They're an elite level team, and they just, you know, they have so much talent, so many All-Americans coming off the bench and redshirt for them. So, you know, playing against them, you know, really set the bar for us and really showing us how much work we have to do and get better over the course of the season.
Watching the game, you're looking great under the basket, got a few dunks in on them. Announcers are talking about your three-point shooting all of a sudden, and then you just land a 3. I think you headed in that game shooting about 20% from beyond the arc, but what was going on that night? What did you have for breakfast that morning?
Man, I just had a good preparation. It just get my mind right and getting the focus. You know, I hadn't been playing well, hadn't been shooting the ball well. You know, I just wasn't playing like myself, and then I just really felt like I was in the zone and playing like myself. And about 3-point shooting, I shot like 35% last year. So I was just in a slump. So the announcers, they can talk all they want, but I can shoot.
I won't argue that one bit. You know, it was definitely, you fought with them the first half, second half. That's when they kind of took it away. But was that a moral win for you guys, the way that you played against them?
A little bit here and there. Every time we step on the floor, like we feel like we should go and win a game. And we looked at a lot of things on the film, and we saw that we can get better, and know that we came out and we should have gave a little bit of effort. But all in all, it was a pretty good, really was a good showing for us.
Man, from what I saw, there was plenty of effort. And I got to touch on your brother getting some more playing time this season. The chemistry you have with him. I mean, there's always been a few plays where, ball goes up, Dwight comes out of nowhere and just tips it in. I mean, that dude's got some speed.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk about your brother this season compared to last, because he's getting a lot more time.
He's more confident. He's just growing into his role, and just he's starting to play within himself. And when he does that, he's a really good player. Just making plays, on and off the ball, and just hitting some shots will really raise your confidence level. And he's doing the best right now.
You guys are 5-4. The last 2 teams you played were tough, but I want to jump back to that CU game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a huge win for the fans. That's going to bring them back to the games. But talk about how awesome that was, having the fans rush the court.
Oh, the fans, they're unbelievable. When they're out there rocking Moby like that, we really feel unstoppable. And even going back to last year, we had to sell out. We really felt like we can go out there and do anything. And we lost by one to San Diego, and then by 8 to BYU. And then we come out there and get a real good showing again, and win by 1. So they really do help us. They really are a 6-man.
Now, last season, there was, throughout the season, expectations. This is it. They're going to go to the NCAA tournament. Then over the summer, a lot of people were thinking, well, they lost a lot of key players. This is really a rebuilding year. From what I've seen, you guys have already rebuilt. So,
no, we don't rebuild. We just reload. We got a lot of good players. We can really fill into those roles. And you see Dwight's coming in making more plays. Wes is getting a lot of points right now.
Dorian's, playing a lot better than he was last year. And, we're just going to go out there and play. No matter how big we are, how small we are, we're just going to go out there and play.
I love that reloading and looking ahead. The schedule you've got for the next couple of weeks, a lot nicer than the schedule behind. Just kind of talk about, near future, how you feel this team will do. I mean, can you win the next 5, 6, 7 straight?
I think we can. We're confident that we can, but we just can't. We can't look past anybody. We had slip-ups like last year against Hampton, and that was a game that could have put us over the 20-win plateau. And instead of losing games like that, this year we got to be more mature and win them even on the road.
Now you look at across the rest of the Mountain West, we're getting closer and closer to that conference season. Wyoming, they're now 10-1. You obviously lost BYU this year. You still got San Diego State, New Mexico. How excited are you for this conference play and the competition you're going to have?
I'm real excited. Everybody looks really strong at this point. Since San Diego State take Creighton, who was ranked like 15 at the time, to the wire. New Mexico, they're up and down right now, but we know what they're capable of. UNLV beat the #1 team in the nation. It's going to be a really exciting conference. Even without the star power that we had last year, it's going to be a real good team effort this year from everybody.
And I hate to look that far ahead, but so I'm going to bring it back to this Monday. You got Texas Southern, then you're on the road, but it's only 45 minutes away against UNC. Tell me about that UNC rivalry. You've played them before.
Yeah, we went down there my freshman year. They stormed the court on us, and that wasn't fun at all. And that's one thing that we're going to look. That's going to be our motivation. Knowing that they did that and what this game means to them and to us. They're only 35 miles down the road, and these are some kids that were recruited up here, in-state guys that wanted to go to school here. So this is a real big game, for Northern Colorado as a whole.
Definitely. It'll be a big win for you guys. And I want to thank you so much for joining us on the show. Best of luck next couple of weeks. And, NCAA tournament, I'm tasting. Well, I'm looking ahead again. Now, that's all the time I have for RSM this week. But tune in next week as I recap the Rams game against Texas Southern and preview their game with in-state rival, the UNC Bears. Catch you next week.